Chine-check nyo ba yung activities ng works sa city? May repetitions kasi sa projects nyo, such as plant tour, lanyards, sale, mask and glove sale. Itutuloy nyo pa ba kahit may gumagawa na?
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. So to answer that question, so far yung sa aming council, walang nag-overlap with projects ng other organizations or yung projects na nag-overlap sa another officer. So this is because pinlano namin mabuti kasi we believe that every organization ay may we respect every organization na dapat kung nauna sila doon, let them do that project. And then for the lanyard selling naman sa aming batch representatives, so it's a collective project. So each batch representative, so they will sell their designs ng lanyard para makapagpuntar sila ng batch fund nila. So hindi ibig sabihin na when they sell their lanyards,
Thank you, Mr. Ayan. Now, under the banner of Sigaw UP.
Ayan, no? So, good afternoon. Maraming salamat po sa katanungan. Kami po sa Sigaw UP, naniniwala po kami na every organization, of course, has its prerogatives sa kanilang mga proyekto. At katulad ng aming philosophy this year, na kasama tayong lahat, we still respect the organization as well as provide also our resources, no? Aming human resources at ang aming may tutulong para sa mga kolegyo, ay para sa mga organization rather. Kasama lang yung Vice President sa Inter-Organization Network Improvement and Creation, palalakasin natin ang ties between organizations. At syempre, kasama ang students at ang UPPhA Student Council. We will maximize whatever resources that you need, nandun kami para sa inyo. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Emilio. How important is celebrating the birthday of each batchmate? Don't you think it is too costly and requires a lot of effort for each member of the batch to attend each celebration? Please elaborate this project.
Okay, so yung birthday surprise na project is project para may parating sa bawat batchmate, nakasama siya sa buong batch.
So yung platform po kasi namin ay focus sa unity ng two blocks, IT and Corp. At kasama na po doon yung shifties and raspberries. So ito po birthday surprise, hindi po siya extravagant and costly. May make sure po namin na hindi magiging materialistic to, magiging sentimental siya. Surprise. Sige, magsasabi ko na example ay cards na lahat ay magsusulat. I think hindi naman yun magiging hassle for everyone.
Our next question is addressed to Salve Alcantara. The question: how can we be assured that you can balance three SIMs? Since there were instances in the past where concerned blockmates texted you without receiving a reply. Thank you. How can we be assured that you can balance three SIMs? Since there were instances in the past where concerned blockmates texted you without receiving any reply. Thank you.
Yung sa issue na dati hindi ako nagre-reply, naniniwala kasi ako na yung ProFarm, kumukuha sila ng tao na kaya nilang i-train as leaders. Nung nakuha, before kasi, isa lang akong normal blockmate, isa lang akong normal blockmate sa batch. Pero nung nakilala ko yung ProFarm, na-train ako, nasama ko sa iba't ibang organization, pinag-experience nila akong mag-head ng iba't ibang projects, natutunan ko kung gaano kahalaga ang communication sa bawat isa. At syempre ngayon, tumatakbo ko at lahat ng sinabi ko ay gagawin ko. Hindi ako nagsasabi ng bagay para lang maniwala kayo sa akin, para lang iboto niyo ako. Dahil ayoko naman nasisiraan ko rin yung pangalan ko sa huli. At syempre, dun sa paghahandle ko ng 3 SIM cards, lahat, mahalaga naman yung isa-send ko doon. Syempre, dahil ngayon, alam ko na, kunyari mananalo kong batch, alam ko may responsibilidad ako na ikalat ng mabilis ang impormasyon. Kaya syempre, susiguraduhin ko na lahat ay makakasip ng text ko.
Thank you. The next question is still addressed to Ms. Salve Alcantara. The question: Bakit mo nakita na kailangan pa ng paggawa ng forms link? Hindi ba kaya naman through text or FB yung pagbigay ng comment?
Katulad ng nasabi ko kanina, para walang bias, actually, sinuggest ito ng isa sa mga blockmates ko na dapat, yung iba kasi, dahil kaibigan ko siya, na hindi yan, nasabihin na, uy, Salve, pangit yung ganyang idea mo. So, naisip ko na through forms link, hindi natin malalaman yung identity. Kasi pag text, di ba, pwede natin hanapin yung number. Kapag Facebook, malalaman natin yung account niya or gagawa pa siya ng bagong account. Napaka-hassle naman nun. Kaya sa forms link na lang. Para, kapag masasabi siya ng comment niya, bilang blockmate, hindi bilang isang kaibigan, o para mawala yung personal issues or attachments.
Thank you, Sarah. Our next question is addressed to Miss Ann Conde of Sigaw UP. The question, sabi mo self-service yung magpapa-photox. Paano kung masira yung Xerox machine? Di ba mas effective kung may magbabantay kaysa self-service?
Sa definition ko po ng self-service, tayo po mismo yung magpapa-photox sa machine. When it comes to repairs, to maintenance, we have the Ways and Means Committee. Yun po ang i-assure ko the next school year pagdating po ng ating photocopy machine. The self-service part means kayo po ang magpapa-photox mismo and lahat po ng mga problems doon, pwede nyo kami i-contact right away and we will reply with, and we will call all of the necessary people like the repair and yun po. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Ann Conde. The next question is addressed to both parties. For the Secretary for External Affairs of both parties. The question is, what is your stand in the issue of academic dishonesty? If, for example, you have committed such, would you initiate to confess as a leader? Sigaw UP would go first since change has gone first a while ago. The question, what is your stand in the issue of academic dishonesty? If, for example, you have committed such, would you initiate to confess as a leader? I'll have to repeat the question then. Okay, sure.
So the question goes this way. What is your stand on the issue of academic dishonesty? If, for example, you have committed such, I guess, academic dishonesty, would you initiate to confess as a leader? Sa pangalan pa lang naman, student leader, both student and the leader. Para given na kasi siya, na as a leader, you should be an example to those who, to other people. So, pagiging student leader, you are both a student, ibig sabihin, dapat nag-uphold ka ng academic honesty. And as a leader, you should also uphold this academic honesty para sa inyong mga constituents. So, yes, if ever magkaroon ng instance na ang isang leader ay mag-commit ng academic dishonesty, whether intentional or non-intentional, I think, para mawala, dapat meron siyang conscience, good conscience, at kailangan niyang mag-confess. Kasi student leader siya. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Now let's hear from the other party.
So, all forms ng academic dishonesty, tulad ng pagpapasa ng quizzes, pagkokopya sa quizzes, exams, pagkokopya ng post-labs, pagka-memorize ng mga old exams, ay alam naman natin po na masama. And bilang students, kahit hindi man tayo leaders, I believe na lahat tayo ay kailangan umami man doon kung sakaling ginawa natin yun.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Ramirez. The question, what do you mean by consolidating pharmacon? Please elaborate. I believe the one who asked this question, the pharmacon wasn't informed or consulted about this. Oh. The question, what do you mean by consolidating pharmacon? Please elaborate. I believe the pharmacon wasn't informed or consulted about this.
So, atin pong linawin, ang aking proyekto po ay consolidation of pharmacals. Okay, so, aware ba tayo lahat sa pharmacals? So, for example, for a month, meron pong certain issue. Okay, June may issue. Are you on standby pa? Yes or no? Okay, fine. Go. July, August, September, October. ano lang susunod galing doon. So, ang goal natin ay ma-collaborate lahat ng resource doon upang at the end of the year, magkaroon tayo ng overview kung ano na yung mga naganap na events and issues. Ngayon, ang goal natin is i-release siya through online or Facebook, and in relation to PharmaCon, it is in their discretion to publish them. And ang part ko lang is ma-collaborate lahat. This is to increase the awareness and involvement of all the students regarding issues in the university and national setting. Ayun po, maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Charles Ayran. The question, by enrollment period, magagamit na ba ang electronic board? Ano-ano ang mga uses nito?
So, by enrollment, magagamit na yung e-board natin, and nag-usap na kami ni Ma'am Elsie na ang target date for the launch of e-board is during the summer enrollment para magamit na natin agad siya to flash yung 4 or 5 updates and enrollment procedures, tapos mga advertisements, facilities of the college, services offered by the college. So, e-board, hindi lang siya for advertisement. So, may advocacy din yung e-board. E-board is for paperless advertising because, yun nga, we believe na kumoconsume yung e-board ng electricity. So, kailangan natin siyang ma-neutralize by reducing naman yung consumption ng paper. So, thank you.
Our next question is addressed to Mr. Ivan Rodriguez. The question, yung project mo on reviewers, do you really think it is useful given that students usually make reviewer naman on their own?
Yes, I think it is very useful for each and every one of you. Kasi first time natin magkakaroon ng reviewers para sa practical exams. Kasi nakita ko one reason na pag-fail natin sa practical exams ay natataranta tayo tuwing nagbe-bell yung bell, di ba? And also, yung mga, together with our batch representatives, meron silang mga projects tungkol sa reviewers where they collate the different reviewers, and now we will use that together with the academics committee to synthesize the final exams reviewer called PharmaCon, and as well as a series. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ivan Rodriguez. Our next question is addressed to Ms. Kate Tan. Your project on personality development to improve pharmacy counseling, isn't that just the same with what is being done in clinical pharmacy 180 class?
Clarify ko lang po, kasi yung personality development workshop, nakuha ko yung idea during our management class. So, hindi siya more on, ano yung sinabi mo, yung patient counseling. Hindi siya ganon. Parang, I know, given kasi na UP students are smart and intelligent, pero kasi minsan, nahihirapan tayong i-communicate yung anong gusto natin sasabihin. So, through this personality development workshop, parang empowerment siya ng personality natin inside and outside. Kasama na din doon yung kung paano natin idala yung sarili natin, physically, for example, kung ano yung mga dapat nating suotin sa, kung for example, merong formal event, kung sinabing business attire, ano yun. Tapos kung, hindi lang kasi more on physical, both physical, and kung paano natin harapin yung ating kausap. So, as a frontliner pharmacist, so, tayo, in the future, tayo na yung harap natin mga patients. So, I believe na necessary na i-ready tayo.
Thank you, Ms. Tan. Our next question is addressed to Ms. Ann Conde. The question, where will you get the fund for the photocopy machine? It has been proposed for some years now, but there's still no photocopy machine in the college. Will you really be able to provide the photocopy machine?
So regarding that matter, I'm happy to tell you that nakausap ko na po si Ma'am Toralba, nakausap ko na po yung admin, nakausap ko na po ang ating librarian, and sabi nila, go sila. So why did I talk to Ma'am Toralba? I talked to her kasi I want to present this photocopy machine to our alumni. And from them, I hope and I believe that they will be able to provide funds for this photocopy machine. Lalo na kasi ang ating photocopy ngayon ay hindi IGP. It is a self-maintaining photocopy machine. That's all. Thank you.
Hindi kasi yung problem,
This question is addressed to Ms. Kim Yao.
kundi sa admin.
Mr. Gerson Tagibaw, despite being a new member, was given many articles in a column which up until then was only assigned to the Pharmacon Hexicom. Being both under the party Sigaw UP, did you become partial in managing the publication as this year's EIC?
So for the information of everyone, gusto ko lang po linawin na Pharmacon is not an organization. Pharmacon is actually an arm of UPPhA in providing transparency and information dissemination para sa students ng ating kolegyo. Tapos, i-enlighten ko lang din, gusto ko lang din ma-enlighten ng student body sa processes na nangyayari sa Pharmacon. So what I did at the start of the school year was I presented my vision. Sabi ko sa buong Pharmacon, both Hexicom and the General Assembly, ito yung plano ko sa Pharmacon. Now let us work hand in hand para ma-achieve ang mga planong ito. Sa bawat meeting ng Pharmacon, hindi EIC ang mga nagde-decide kung ano ang susulatin ng bawat member ng Pharmacon. Alam to ng bawat isa sa Pharmacon. We all decide as one Pharmacon because we work together as one Pharmacon. So kung ano man po ang nabigay kay Gerson Tagibaw, that is through his initiative and also through with the advice of all members of Pharmacon. Hindi po tayo nagbibigay, hindi po ang EIC nagbibigay ng sarili. Thank you.
This next question is addressed to Ms. Kaitan. Is your cram jump project really feasible? This was also included in the current VP's platform, but it was not implemented because of difficulties in finding student peer tutors. How will you make that project work?
So, ayun, syempre, pinlano ko naman lahat bago ko siya propose. So, yung problem na sinabi ng question na yan is yung tungkol sa mahirap sa paghanap ng tutor. Actually, may nakausap na ako ilang students na willing talaga sila na magturo. Yun nga lang, ang sabi nila, aayusin namin yung schedule. Hindi naman kasi sinasabing available kami 24/7. Lahat tayo students. So, dadaan mo na sa mga processing, sa pag-schedule, tsaka nag-request, tsaka nakita ko rin yung need niya. Kasi mismo yung mga batch representatives na tumatakbo, tinatanong nila ako, ate, meron ba kayong ganitong klaseng program? Pwede ba natin gawin ito para sa batch namin? Kasi mukhang interested sila. Kaya yun, naisip ko, i-propose yung project. Kaya naghanap na ako ng mga tao na kinausap ko na sila kung willing sila magturo.
Thank you, Ms. Kaitan. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Charles Airan and Ramon Cortesa. Either of you could answer the question. Is the electronic bulletin board cost-efficient or cost-effective? Won't it just increase the electricity bills of the college? Will the projected benefits be greater than the cost?
So, good afternoon. So, the e-board is cost-efficient. So, pinag-usapan namin kung anong type ng monitor yung gagamitin natin. So, instead of LCD, we'll be using LED monitor. So, LED monitor consumes 5 times, less than 5 times ng electricity na kinoconsume ng LCD. So, I think that would be enough para ma-neutralize niya din yung consumption ng electricity. And also, madaming benefits na makukuha dito. Tulad na lang ng mga projects na pinopropose ng change. So, isa na dyan yung sa enrollment, tapos yung sa facilities and services offered by the college. Advertisements of the activities of college organization, lahat ng to possible sa e-board. So, I think that would be enough para ma-compensate yung consumption sa electricity. And also, may pinropose din pala ako sa admin na hindi siya...
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Our next questions are addressed to both the presidents. Pero magkaiba sila. Okay. Now, first for the president of Sigaw UP. If you are a diamond, then what can you attribute the student body to? I will repeat the question. If you are a diamond, then what can you attribute the student body to?
Pageant po yan. So talagang pang beauty pageant. No? Pero anyway, I would attribute the student body to the light that passes through the diamond. Because through the students, it is only through the students na na talagang magpa-function yung crystal clear ng diamond, yung pagiging shining bright ng diamond. At isa pa, na once it refracts, it turns into a spectrum of colors. Lahat tayo iba-ibang kulay sa loob ng kolehiyo. Alam natin yan. Pero through collective action ng inyong UPPhA Student Council 2013-2014, lahat po tayo iisang kolehiyo, iisang College of Pharmacy. Thank you.
Now, a question for the President under the banner change. The question, if you are the father of the council, how will you ensure that no one gets left behind?
So, good afternoon again. So this council, your council, hindi lang yung father ng council ang responsible para maging student-centered yung projects ng UPPhA. So, through the initiatives of these people, we will not let the student body get left behind. So, because we believe nga na that the UPPhA Student Council is a home where everyone, again, is empowered, where everyone can become a leader. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Our next question is again addressed to the presidents of the both parties. The question, what is your greatest achievement for the student body as an incumbent SC officer? Mr. Ryan would first answer the question. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. So, the greatest achievement would be to represent UPPhA Student Council to the Federation of the Junior Chapters of the Philippine Association. So, I get to work with people sa labas ng college, and I think hindi lang siya for the student, but for myself too, because I learned how to communicate effectively to different types of people, and I think that would be enough para maging achievement ko as the Secretary for External Affairs. Thank you.
And the greatest achievement that I would probably consider is being able to represent the College of Pharmacy in the General Assembly of Student Councils. Maging na sa pag-create ng projects for you, no? Not only within the college, but also outside. Tulad ng The Debacle, which was in coordination with also with the UPPhA. It became a legacy project now. And sobrang proud ako for the college na tayo yung unang-unang gumawa nun at sa atin siya nagsimula. Whereas sa representation naman sa GASC, we have passed various resolutions regarding the syntax law, the RH law, and various other advocacies that we together as scholars ng bayan also push for. Also, we have the security, naging issue yung security niya throughout the UP system. We also passed a resolution on that together with various student councils from all over the UP system. Not only with the various university student councils of Los Baños, Baguio, Diliman, etc.
The next question is addressed to the vice presidents of both parties. The question. You both have international conventions as one of your projects. How can you assure the student body that this will happen? For example, in financing the project. Mr. Emilio first. Rodriguez, I'm sorry.
So first of all, Sigaw UP offers you feasible projects, and with the Southeast Asian Pharmaceutical Science Research Convention, we empower you now, students, to share your scientific works with the professionals internationally. Now for the feasibility, we have been continuously contacting different sponsors, and as well as with the DOST together with Dr. Jaime Montoya and the Philippine Journal of Sciences together with Judith Sabdan, and with the International Conference on Chemical and Biological Processes kasama namin si Ma'am Judith Bilum. And for the financing naman, we have also considered the fare na ipabayad ng mga students na mag-join din sa project na yun. And it was seen that it was feasible and it would be capable to continue the operations of the project. That's all. Thank you.
question, I think it's clear that Philippine Pharmacy Summit is feasible as we had the Philippine Pharmacy Summit this year. So, kung nagawa siya dati ni Athena Ong, bakit hindi na magagawa, di ba? And together with your Biotic Secretary for Finance, gagawin namin ang paraan para maghanap ng mga sponsorships. And also, na-communicate ko lang ito sa case, I don't want to mention the name, but sige, because I've consulted this to Sir Salenga already, and he said it is feasible. So, siguro together with the Young Pharmacist Group ulit, magagawa natin itong Philippine Pharmacy Summit 2014. Kasi sayang naman hindi natin pagpatuloy yung legacy na nasimulan na. Thank you.
Our next question is addressed to Mr. Igner Quijada. The question. CB is known to be neutral when it comes to university politics. Your credentials show that you are an active member of the Tau Omega Mu fraternity, which is affiliated to ASAP Katipunan. How, then, can you effectively represent the CB student body impartially with no bias inside the university student council?
Well, first and foremost, being the college representative of the College of Pharmacy, syempre, mapupunta ako sa posisyon na to through the student body if they did not believe, if they believe in my capabilities. And then, as for the biases tungkol sa conflict of interest, well, I guess, the first thing that I should consider first is the student body of CB. Bakit? Kasi nga po, sabi ko kanina, hindi po ako magiging college rep if it weren't for the students. And kung meron pong instances that requires, if there are instances that are conflicting with the interest of AK, of the interest of the CP, then I guess naman, yung mga brands ko, maintindihan nila yun kasi sila mismo, sinuportahan nila ako in my venture towards being a college representative. And I guess, being the college representative, I should be unbiased.
Thank you, Mr. Quijada. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Rolio Ramirez. The question. We saw that you are pro-MCULES increase at our tuition. You are pro-tuition increase. Given that fact, let me repeat the question. Sorry. Okay, so, we saw that you're pro-MCULES increase at our tuition. You are pro-tuition increase. Given the fact that may tulad ng mga honoraria sa kule na pwede nilang ibawas para hindi tumaas ang tuition. Saan mo nga ba kami dadalhin, Romeo, take me?
Maraming salamat po sa katanong yan. Okay, linawin po natin ba't po nagkaroon ng student fund increase. Ika po nila, nagkaroon po ng student fund increase dahil pang publication ay deficit sa binibigay ng student funds galing sa mga estudyante. Next, nagkaroon po ng increase dahil isusuffice di umano professional training sa tingin ko ay ang purpose nila ay para hindi tayo close-minded, magkaroon tayo ng inputs from the other fields. And lastly, para daw sa honorarium. But if I may suggest, there should be proper allocation of budgets na hindi increase pero hindi ang bulk ay mapupunta sa honorarium. At kung magkaroon man po na increase, ay sana po'y mag-benefit po ang mga college publications natin sa university. Tulad na po ng Pharmacon, sana po mag-benefit din po sila roon. Dahil hindi po natin na itatanong ang Pharmacon po ay self-income generating publication. Ang MCULES hindi. So kung gano'n, na sila na mag-benefit, hindi po tayo go. Go to the increase kung mag-benefit po natin.
Thank you, Mr. Ramiro. Our next question is addressed to all batch representatives running without a BSP or BSIP counterpart. So the following will be Mr. Gutierrez, Ms. Lazara, Ms. Song, Ms. Pong. Now the question goes like this. If you were to win together with the other party's batch representative, how will you integrate your projects? Please give concrete examples. You would start first with Mr. Gutierrez.
Salamat po sa magandang question. Kami po ni Trisha ay alam naman natin na karamihan po sa amin yung graduating students na ang mga projects po namin
ay student-centered naman po. At para sa batch po talaga namin, yung po aming mga yearbook, welcome ceremony, and graduation ceremonies, pagtutulungan po namin yung magawa. At syempre, yung ating ball din po, meron din ata siya na parang ganun din. Lahat po kami doon ay magtutulungan po kami para matupad po yung ball na yun. Ayun. Salamat.
Now, Ms. Lazara, thank you, Mr. Gutierrez.
Okay, thank you all for that question. So, when we are already at the student council, it's about working together to represent your batch as a whole, and we are one student council for one college. And with that, na-trainer kami sa Sigaw to compromise and to hear the other, work together and hear multi-perspectives of what is going on with an issue. So, ganon, like I am running alone without a PSIB counterpart, pero pumasok ako dito, mag-isa, pero we emerge together with Sigaw UP as a family. So, we assure you that we can work together with people because adaptability is something that we also advocate. Thank you very much.
Now, Ms. So.
So, kasi diba, parang pagka i-analyze yung mga projects namin ni Maki, may mga projects talaga na nag-overlap. Pero syempre, since pareho kami batch representative ng batch namin, so magandang gawin namin is to integrate yung parehong mga projects namin para mas maging better siya kaysa dun sa mga projects namin alone. Ayun. So, kasi naman, hindi naman dahil magkaiba kami ng party, isang batch pa rin kasi kami. So, lahat ng ginagawa namin para sa batch namin. So, yun.
Now, Mr. K.
Mr. K po.
Mr. K.
Hindi siya kasama.
So thank you for that wonderful question. So, just like what Lassie said, diba? We entered here. Kaming Sigaw, we entered here as a student council, and we're just like mere strangers. But look at us now. Look at the bond yung ionic bond na na-form namin. So yeah, if I should have to work with the other party na, so when the academic year comes, then yun nga, we emerge as one. Wala nang kulay-kulay pag after ng town elections. Wala na tayong kulay-kulay. Pero, what I assure you is our goal, me and Daryl Tabut's goal for BBB. Yun nga, yun ang main goal namin for the two batches. Because this year, in third year natin, this is the time na dapat PSP and BSIP, iisa na siya. Hindi na siya magkahiwalay, hindi na siya hiwalay-hiwalay ang mag-head sa kanya. Iisa na siya. Kaya both me and your GC, Daryl G. Tabut, are your third year batch representatives.
Our next question is addressed to Ms. Guico and Ms. Conte. Please elaborate on your coffee vending machine project. Ms. Guico would go first.
So, for the coffee vending machine project, nag-scavenge na ako ng mga possible na machines na magiging accessible dito sa college. So, the cost is around 6 to 10,000, and for each cup would be 5 to 10 pesos. So, depends pa yun sa size. So, I have accounted for the cost and for the income that will come in through the coffee vending machine. So, after 3 months or 4 months, at the pinaka-minimum na siya, mababawi na agad yung nagastos mo para sa machine. So, another issue, so niraise ko to sa admin kasi, the admin, parang kinoconsider nila yung advocacy kung pag coffee vending machine nilagay sa college, tapos parang hindi daw siya pro-health ng student. So, I made a stand na hindi naman lahat ng coffee ay magiging parang
Thank you, Ms. Vivo. Now for Ms. Antonio.
Actually, in terms po sa machine, ko po kami ni Ate Carla that I have already started din po to scavenge and same price, 5 pesos pa rin yung cup. And I've also talked to the administration. And sabi naman po nila, game na game sila. Ay, hindi naman, they say na pwede, feasible siya. Just as long as yung price, yung income, saan siya mapupunta, and yung agreement namin in terms of the electricity bill. So right now, I'm drafting the proposal letter for the administration. And yun po,
Thank you, Ms. Anconde. Palapan na lang ng question. Thank you. Our next question is addressed to third-year BSP batch rep Daniel Tabud and BSP batch rep Matthew K. About link and sync. Question goes like this. Students can easily access Facebook through phone or laptops. Isn't it troublesome to create another website which has the same purpose as the former? Isn't organizing Facebook and Dropbox easier so that students won't adjust anymore?
About organizing Facebook, I don't think it's easier. Kasi actually, pag ako mismo, pupunta ako Facebook, titingin na announcement, hindi ko titingin na ganyan announcement, parang bigla akong mababaling sa ibang bagay. Parang bigla lang ako pupunta sa notifications, titingin na photos, ayun. So yung link is sync, ang primary goal talaga namin dito is to organize. Hanggang maaari may archive siya, tapos dapat straightforward siya, to remove the non-formality of Facebook. Kasi sa Facebook, may mga comments na kunyari unnecessary. Sa website, napaka-straightforward niya, tapos, ayun, organize.
Just to add nga lang, yun, pagdating sa website, focus on our batch. So wala nang ibang makikita doon. It's all about our batch. Yun. That's all.
The next question is addressed to Mr. Ramirez. If you said you are unaffiliated, why didn't you run as an independent candidate?
Maraming salamat sa tanong. Kung ating pong babalikan ng ating speech, ang definition ko po na unaffiliated ay unaffiliated in the USC. So yun po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Romeo. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Gerson Magibao. How did you fight for the UPPhA student rights in the USC? Give practical advocacy in pushing student rights and also for concrete accomplishments.
Alright, so to begin with, I am part of the issue Students' Rights and Welfare and the Gender Committee of the USC. So together with the various councilors, with John Padawan, with Min Sapalo, and with Regis Soriano, the CAS representative, we together have pushed for yung nga nabanggit ko kanina, ang RH law, ang same tax bill, para sa lahat yun ng mga estudyante, not only for us pharmacy students, but also for all healthcare professionals. Isa pa, naging representative ang USC, yung inyong anti-sexual harassment, it's the Office of Anti-Sexual Harassment or the OASH of the UP Manila. So doon pa lang nakapagsimula na tayo. It's a concrete project that we are very proud to tell everyone. As well as may P4RH po tayo noon, or ang puso-puson, politika at pananampalataya, kung saan na-address natin ang RH, ang reproductive health, binigyan ng mga tao ng enough information about it para magkaroon sila ng pro-informed choice, kung saan ang malalaman muna nila thoroughly kung ano ang RH bago sila mag-decide kung sila i-go ay
Next question is addressed to Ms. Garcia. How would you ensure the proper integration of the shifties and transferees with your blockmates?
Yun nga, yung shifties and transferees, parang kasama namin siya sa block namin. Parang kasama namin siya sa ganun, as in batch. So, kahit kunwari sa groups namin sa social networking sites, parang i-integrate na namin sila. Tapos, tatanungin namin sila lahat ng mga concerns at saka yung mga schedule, ganun. Tapos, basta namin yun. Parang i-connect namin, parang ganun. Basta magiging, kung saan kami okay sa lahat. Parang ganun. Yun.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Our next question is addressed to Ms. Tan. The question goes like this. Regarding to your ISCONEC extension projects, specifically finding copies in Google Books, how can you ensure the feasibility of this project since not all books that we need are available? And if they are, you can view all the pages unless it is bought. Thank you.
Siyempre, may limitations naman talaga lahat, di ba? Pero sa lahat ay hanggat sa makakaya, gagawa ng paraan para hanapin yung mga kailangan nila. Usually naman kasi, yung mga hinahanap na mga kailangan nating e-books, nahanap naman siya ng ibang students. Kaya nga meron nga si Athena O ngayon yung calling for e-books dahil minsan nga, meron tayong mga e-books na kailangan pala ng ibang students pero hindi natin ito na-share. So through that, parang continuity sa project ni Ate Athena, so through that, pwede nating mapapadami pa ang ating mga e-book collection. So, I know that there are limitations sa Google Books, ganon. Wala akong magagawa doon kasi wala naman talagang fund para bumili pa talaga online ng mga e-books. Pero hanggang sa kung ano naman yung available, hahanapin at hahanapin namin para ma-deliver sa inyo.
Thank you, The next question is addressed to Mr. Brad Rodriguez. Anong pinagkaiba ng pharma-aralin sa pharma-pumasa?
So basically po, yung pharma-pumasa is a final exams reviewer where they are given po 3 days before the final exams. Well, it is a reviewer po ng lahat selected subjects na pinag-usapan ng aming council na ibibigay namin para sa inyo. Also, pharma-aralin is also a reviewer ng mga different subjects dito sa farm. But this time, we will extend it through different, more subjects na ibibigay namin para sa inyo. Yeah, so, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Our next question is addressed to Ms. Tan again. Anong pinagkaiba ng road to pharmacy sa freshie orientation kung saan ino-orient din ang freshies sa farm at subjects?
Okay. Kasi napansin ko po dati, nung kami pa yung freshie, ang ginawa lang ng orientation is present lang. Ito, IT 121, IT 141, ito yung next, gano'n-gano'n. So, hindi pinakita sa amin kung anong use ng mga subjects na yon. So, naisip namin ni Charles na, why not? Kasi parang, since, for example, IT 121, sila din, ano bang use ng ganitong technique sa lab? So, makikita natin na sa math pala, mas mahalaga pa pala itong mga techniques na ito, di ba? So, kung sa plant chem, bakit kailangan natin mag-memorize ng mga scientific names? Ganon. Malalaman natin na sa Bicol pala, nandun pa rin sila. Tapos yung mga drugs pala na available sa community, ay galing din pala doon sa mga plants. So, makikita nyo, from yung parang root pa lang sa mga lahat ng subject, it creates foundation sa ating career as a pharmacist. So, bawat subject na pagdadaanan natin, ma-appreciate natin kasi may relevance siya sa ating future career as a pharmacist. Thank you.
Our next question is addressed to Mr. Ramon Cortez III. Sa level up mong project, paano mo ako makukumbinsi na makakatulong ang self-defense sa pagbaba ng snatching at held up kung natatak na sa aking isipan na mas mabuting isurrender na lang ang gamit dahil mapapalitan iyon, pero ang buhay ay hindi.
Actually, hindi ko sinasabi na na aaway talaga natin yung mga magnanakaw, yung mandurukot. So, kanina nga dun sa speech ko, sinabi ko yung mga prevention is always the key. So, yung isa doon ay yung mga lectures kung paano ba natin malalaman kung may tinatagong baril yung isang lalaki nakatambay dyan. Ano yung mga tips kung paano tayo umuwi or lumabas pag madaling araw na. Para, example, hindi tayo pag-iisipan na hold upin ng tao. Yung mga ganun na mga bagay, hindi naman per se, natuturuan ko kayo paano sumipa, paano since matagal yun yung mga practical na mga bagay yung inaano natin. Simple.
Our next question is addressed to Ms. Kimia. Bakit hindi ka nag-resign bago ka tumakbo as Secretary for External Affairs?
Again, ulitin ko lang po para sa...
Alam naman natin na apolitical ang Pharmacon. Do you think that you're putting color to Pharmacon given that its head is running for a certain position?
Again, ulitin ko lang po yung sinabi ko kanina. Pharmacon is not an external organization and it is actually an arm of UPPhA para sa better information dissemination.
and transparency. Pero still, gumawa po ako ng parang preemptive method para to ensure na may neutrality pa rin sa pharma ko hanggang matapos yung third ko. That is by assigning the future pharmacon activities, for example, itong clean and fair elections. Yung officer in charge po nitong sa clean and fair elections ay si Miss Francesca Choi, which is our managing editor for external affairs. And yung fourth issue naman po ng pharmacon, to ensure neutrality din, ang officer in charge po nun ngayon ay si Miss Michelle Mercado, which is our managing editor for internal affairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yap. Our next question is addressed to both Ms. Kim Yap and Mr. Ramon Corteza. How do you plan to empower the PMR committee through your projects? Please elaborate. Ms. Kim Yap will go first.
So sa intensifying PMR po, better dissemination of task po, and tulad ng sinabi ko sa speech kanina, we give every member the opportunity to use whatever talents and skills they have in order to effectively advertise events and advocacies. Hindi lang po tayo mag-limit sa Photoshop or sa kung anumang specific software. Through hashtag Instatalk na rin po, tutulungan natin yung bawat member ng PMR committee as well as the publicity teams ng bawat student organizations on improving the efficiency at improving their advertisement based on content, impact, and the actual ability to increase audience turnouts in events. So yun, basically, kung ano ang talent na meron ng each member ng PMR committee, pwede nila yung gamitin to advertise our events and advocacies. Hindi lang po tayo maglilimit sa posters and Photoshop. Ayun.
Thank you, Ms. Yap. Now, Mr. Ramon Corteza.
So dun sa project ko na isa yung PMR man, pero tayo series of workshops para sa buong student body kung gusto nila matuto na Photoshop at video editing. And bilang head ng PMR, hindi lamang posters tsaka yung gagamitin natin pang-advertise ng events dito sa city. I-utilize natin yung mga skills ng students natin sa video editing. And personally, since nag-online classes ako sa Introduction to Computer Science, sa edx.org or yung harvardx.org. So, yung may mga lessons doon in Scratch and JavaScript programming na nag-aalaw sa akin na magbigay naman ng bagong new dito sa student body. Yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, yung interactive flash ads or flash programs.
Thank you, Mr. Corteza. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Ramirez. We saw your credentials that there are no political experiences, and as we see, the USC has a very high political involvement. How will you ensure that you will truly stand for UPCP students and not be swayed by the political collision in the USC?
Maraming salamat po sa tanong. Ang gusto ko po para sa akin sarili maging holistic. Kung hindi po natin na itatanong, during high school active po ako sa leadership. Naging president po ako ng Arts Club. Naging press relations officer po ako ng Science, Math and Technology Club na aming eskwelahan sa PSHS, sa Philippine Science sa Ilocos Region Campus. At naging po akong second lieutenant sa aming cadet training. And so, na-decided ko po sa college life ko na mag-focus naman po sa academics. So, ang point po natin dito ay kung meron na po akong nagampanan no aking high school. Ngayon po, binalance ko lang po at sa ngayon po, ako po'y magbabalik tanaw, kaya ko pong mag-lead ng College of Pharmacy. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Talibao. I remember last year when you said that you worked with police force to secure our belongings. What happened? I lost a wallet, a pair of shoes, and a friend of mine lost her too during her class. Thank you.
Ayan, so, lilinawin ko lang po, no, yung aking third C last year was Crime Rate Zero. It aims to work with UP Manila Police Office and also the Manila Police District. Pero sa pag-upo ko po bilang yung college representative to the USC, mas nakita ko po yung difference between the felt need of the students and yung actual na pagkaupo ko po. At doon ko po nakita na hindi lang po ang College of Pharmacy ang involved dito, kundi ang buong UP Manila. Kaya po finorward ko to sa USC at ginawa ko po siyang university-wide na advocacy. Dinala ko rin po siya sa GASC at nakapag-pass po ang UPM-USC ng resolution regarding this that also works together with the various university units within the UP system. Ano po yung konkretong nangyari? Tulad po dito sa UP Manila, lumakas po ang security measures when it comes to yung pagsuot ng ID. Yung po importante para hindi po makapasok yung mga hindi dapat pumapasok dito sa loob ng kolehiyo. At yung sinuportahan din po natin ang UP Manila Administration sa pag-pass ng kanyang UP Student Code.
Thank you, Mr. Talibaw. Our next question is addressed to Mr. Charles Ayran. The e-board was also your project last year as the Secretary for Externals, and this only came out during the campaign season. Why was there a delay in this project? Why did you choose to release the e-board during the campaign season?
So, first of all, clarify lang natin that the current council is still able to push for their projects dahil habang nakaupo pa kami, tumatakbo man kami ngayon, nakaupo pa rin kami sa position. So we are free to do kung ano pa yung mga projects na naiiwan namin. And also, kaya ngayon lang siya lumabas is because first is yung sa funding. Yung sa funding kasi, during the 2013, at 2012, wala pa tayong sapat na budget to fund for the e-board. So, nagkaroon na tayo ng budget noong 2013, this January, noong last quarter after the EPS. So, I think that would be enough para i-justify kung bakit lumabas yung e-board ngayon. And there's nothing to do with the election sa paglabas ng e-board. So, that's from the bottom of my heart.
Our last two questions would be addressed to both parties. First, for the question for the party change. Sa tingin niyo ba kailangan na ng CB ng electronic bulletin board? Bakit hindi ibang mga kakulangan sa CB tulad ng fans at shares ang i-prioritize? And last first din sa akin. Kasi may question din kanina sa last first.
So, fans, shares, and lastwares, we believe the admin should be the one na responsible sa pag-provide sa student body. Ang e-board is initiative ng students. And I think, kailangan na siya, hindi man siya kailangan ngayon, but I think this would be a good stepping stone para mag-advertise natin effectively and efficiently yung mga college organization activities and also yung UPPhA activities para lahat ay informed. Kasi nakita namin na hindi enough na FB lang or any social networking sites ang venue for advertising. We believe that every student na dumadaan lang sa lobby ay maging informed sa mga projects ng council, ng USC, ng UPPhA, ng college organizations, even FJ, and other external linkages. Thank you.
For the question for Sigaw B. Naging sobrang makalat ang student lounge last year dahil sa collection ng materials for Lantern Parade. So with your project, Recyclo, saan yung planong itago? Reciclo. Sino nagkaroon? Reciclo. Saan nyo planong itago ang mga recyclable materials na i-collect nyo?
So, last year, hindi po namin, naging makalat po ng konti, medyo yung student lounge dahil sa pag-collect namin ng mga recyclable materials, totoo po yun, no? Pero ngayon, ipinapresent ko po sa inyo ang aming Daddy Maki na siya pong nakipagplano sa mga batch representatives through your Recyclo Reinforce Synergism through Inter-College Inter-Batch College Lantern Operations, no? Pero it revolves around yung pagtago ng ating mga recyclable materials dun po sa taas. At explain po niya further.
Bali po yung recyclable materials, ikakollect po siya sa student lounge. Ngayon, every 2 weeks po, i-wait po yun. Ngayon, paano natin ma-ensure yung storage niya? Gagawin po natin, i-clean po natin lahat yun. Ay, encourage po muna yung mga students na clean na yung ibigay nila. Then, i-seal po natin siya sa isang box. And nakausap po si Ma'am Longcas about this. Nakita po namin na yung ating 3rd floor auditorium sa control room. Ang laki po ng space doon. At ginagamit po kasi siya tuwing lantern pa rin talaga. Doon po nilalagay yung mga props.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Now, before we proceed with the program, we would just like to ask that as responsible students of the UP College of Pharmacy, we would like to request everyone to take their part in leaving this auditorium clean and green. Clean, para pag dumating yung pass, di ba, malinis. So yun lang. Other questions that were not asked during the sessions will be answered by your candidates in Facebook. Okay. Now let's receive the tour.
May we request Mr. Sigfredo Mata, advisor of UPPhA Student Council, to deliver the closing remarks.
Okay, so, ayan, okay, thank you. So, I'm truly amazed dun sa spirit of service na pinapakita ng ating mga students ngayon kasi they really plan so many things for you, okay? And so, hopefully, our candidates should always remember na they are not just citizens of this country, they are not just scholars ng bayan, but first and foremost, they are also students. Right? Let us not forget that you are students. For you to be a leader, you should be a good student. Okay, so I hope for our candidates, when you are elected to the position that you are that you're running for, ayan, you continue to uphold honesty and integrity in your leadership, and for the voters, ayan, choose wisely, ayan, so kung sino yung pinaka-comfortable kayo to work with, ayan, so yun yung iboto ninyo, hindi lamang sa kung ano-ano yung mga naririnig ninyo, ayan, and lastly, I would like to commend the candidates for the both parties, yung Sigaw UP and Change, for a very clean and honest campaign period na syempre tuloy-tuloy pa yan. So bukas ay Pasko. Ayan, so I am again reminding you, you have to please pick up your trash. Ayan, pakilinis po ang auditorium. Ilinis ako ng mga janitors yan. Ayan, yung Sabado at Linggo. Kaya sana huwag kami iwan ng halat. Ayan, and ayan, so everyone, yeah, thank you for coming to this meeting, Avance.
Thank you, sir. Election will be on Friday at the third floor. Thank you.